Hello and welcome to episode 14 of Cold Case Christmas. In this episode, we're going to Sullivan, Missouri, and the disappearance of a 69-year-old mother and grandmother. She was heavily involved in her family's lives. They involved her in their activities. She was excited about her grandchildren's upcoming sports games. And there was absolutely no reason why this woman should just walk away from her entire life. This is the puzzling disappearance of Betty Alexander. The last time Betty was seen by anybody was April the 10th, 2019. Her family know that on the 10th she was at her apartment in Sullivan, Missouri, and nothing seemed amiss. Betty was in good spirits. 4 days later though, on the 14th, her daughter knew something was wrong when Betty didn't answer the phone and hadn't been to church. So she went round there, and a puzzling set of clues were left behind. Her daughter, Tonya, found the door locked, so she unlocked the door, and her mother was nowhere to be seen. She did notice, though, that her Meals on Wheels service had been delivered. That was sitting on the table, along with a glass of milk. Her glasses were also lying on the arm of her recliner, and her purse was left inside a closet, including her wallet, medication, and her identification. So this is what Tonya said about that visit.
It's just been a long battle searching for answers. We still to this day have nothing. She left everything behind. The one thing that has really bothered me from day one is the fact that she left her daily glasses on her recliner. There was a box of missing fentanyl patches that were just delivered, and she did have an extra $200 in her purse that we cannot track down where it came from.
What really concerns me is, even though her medication was there, Tonya had realised that fentanyl was missing. And in Betty's wallet, there was $200. So had someone been in and bought her fentanyl for $200? Panicked, Sonia contacted Sullivan Police Department, who also sought assistance from Sullivan firefighters. The search and rescue people in the area began to look for Betty. It is alleged that she was in the early stages of dementia, so it's possible she could have wandered away. And if she'd gone out, she wouldn't have gone far. So the search continued. They got canines out. They got a bunch of agencies out to scour the local areas. They checked hospitals. They checked everywhere they could possibly think to search. But the days turned into weeks, which turned into months, which have now turned into years. They've had private detectives, a whole array of people trying to assist in the search for Betty. But she's just gone. Detective Finn, one of the cops who's worked on the investigation, has personally combed through more than 50 leads, all of which have come to nothing. Betty's DNA has been entered into the national database, and she's listed in the FBI's National Missing Persons database as well. However, Tonya feels that fresh eyes are needed on the case, and a petition has now gained several thousand signatures with the hope of getting more assistance from the FBI. There's a reward for information that leads to the location of Betty and to the conviction of the person or persons responsible for her disappearance, because the cops and the family do not believe that Betty left of her own volition. And that reward is now up to $20,000. The family has a Facebook page called Bring Betty Home. The last post on it was on October 22nd, when it was Betty's 74th birthday. And this is what the family wrote. Happy 74th birthday, Mom. I felt so lost without you here today. I can't believe it's been another birthday we don't get to celebrate with you. I wanted to get you yellow roses, but I have nowhere to take them. My heart breaks more every day because there is so much you are missing in our lives, and you're not here to be part of it. There have been so many times I've wanted to call you, but I can't. Even though it's been hard, I try to keep hope that we will get answers soon. But even if that isn't the case, I know for a fact that God gives me the hope of at least seeing you again one day. He gives me the hope that if someone was involved, justice will be served either here on earth or on that person's judgment day. Listen, wouldn't you rather, if you are involved in the disappearance of Betty, wouldn't you rather take your punishment now, in this world, rather than wait for the ultimate judgment? It's that hope that helps me get through each day. I hope you had a great birthday wherever you are, Mom. We miss you and love you more than you could ever know. Hashtag bring Betty home. The family are just desperate for answers. They've got nothing new on the case, and the years are just ticking by, and the family are just left in limbo. If you have any information that can help the police or the private investigators, then there's a bunch of numbers here that I'm going to read out. There's an anonymous tip line, 573-860-5637. The Sullivan Police Department at 573-468-8001. The private investigator, John McKay, who is 888-511-0498. Or we help the missing tip line at 866-660-4025. And I'm going to leave the very last word to Betty's daughter. And I'll wish you farewell here, and I'll see you in the next episode of Cold Case Christmas. This is a heartbreaking case. Bring Betty home.
I will never give up. It's my job as her daughter to find her.